All right, let's take a look at we got to find x here. Now, notice this is an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle has at least two sides that are congruent. So that means that if these two sides are the ones that are congruent, and I know that they are because I have the tick marks here, the tick marks tell me that these are the legs. So I have a leg here and a leg here. The legs always create what's called the vertex angle. So that means 30 is the vertex angle. That's the one angle that isn't congruent to the other two. The other two down here that I'm referring to, these are called the base angles. So this angle here and this angle here, these are the base angles. And what we know about the base angles of an isosceles triangle is they have to be congruent to each other. So if I want to find the measure of one of those, which just so happens to be the measure of both of them, I need to figure out how to get that, or how to use that 30 to find the missing ones. Well, I know all angles of a triangle add up to 180. So if I take 180 minus 30, that gets me 150 degrees, which means I have 150 degrees total to work with these two angles. Well, what do I know about these two angles? The base angles of an isosceles triangle are always, always, always congruent. Well, if they're always congruent, I now need to take that 150 degrees, and I got to take 150 divided by 2. That means each of those angles is 75 degrees. So this is 75, and this is 75, which means x is 75 degrees. On the next one, now they took that thing and they rotated it on me. It doesn't change the fact that these are still the legs because they have the tick marks. So this is a leg, and this is a leg, which means this is the vertex angle. That's the one angle that's not the same as the other two. So that means these two are congruent. So if I throw that tick mark there on that arc, I know they're congruent to each other. So that means I have to take 180 minus 56, and 180 minus 56 gets me 124. Well, what do I now do with 124? If I know these are both the same, I take 124 divided by 2, and that gets me 62 degrees for both of these angles. This is 62 degrees, and this is 62 degrees. Take a look at one more. Now this one, they throw me another curveball here because on this one, I got to find x and y, but mostly I'm focused on x. I want to find this angle up here. So if I know what I have here, these two sides are 10 right here, which means they've got to be congruent to each other, which means these are the legs, which means that x is the vertex angle. Now, the previous two examples, they gave me the vertex angle, and I was supposed to find one of the two base angles. In this case, though, they gave me the base angle. So if 72 is the base angle down here, what do we know about this 72-degree angle and this angle y down here? Well, we know the base angles are always congruent. So if this is 72, this is 72. So to find x, what I now need to do is I've got to get both of those 72s away from 180. So 180 minus 72 minus 72. Well, minus 70 minus 70, that's 40. And 40 minus 2 is 38. Minus another 2 gets me 36. So that means angle x right here is 36 degrees.